What's going on, y'all? JJ here, back for another episode. It's late at night, so I'm gonna be trying to whisper a little bit. Don't want to wake anybody up, but I thought I'd figure make this video, roll it out. And here we are once again at the Surugaya, or I believe this is the Bali Q. This is like a partner store out in Ibaraki in Koga, not too far from the station actually. And this is a store that I have visited many times throughout the years, and I often feature it more so on my Instagram account. Make sure to follow me there if you want some more retro gaming action. Just a little plug there. But I came out here just to see. I'm kind of making the rounds after returning from Osaka, making the regular rounds, and I just wanted to see what was out here, and to kind of pose the question. Especially for those of you that are going to be visiting Japan, if some of these stores that are out of the way this is about an hour, so I don't think that's too far out of the way, but it's 1 hour one way, so about 2 hours in total. And it would probably be about just roughly 2,000 and some change to get out here, round trip. And if it's really worth coming out here, or if you're better off just sticking to like the urban areas, because a lot of the stores like this, Surugaya as well as Hard Off, a lot of the pricing seems to be normalizing. And really what you're going to be out here coming out here for is that it's going to be that 20%. Because I want to say a lot of the regular stock, like something like this, like the Xbox Special Edition. Now you see the price there, but that's a machine that's pretty rare, and you don't see it all that often. As well as like this karaoke Dreamcast machine. It's 4,500 yen there. That's actually not too bad of a price, especially if you're a collector. But if it's really worth coming out here, and even for me, because it definitely takes quite a bit of time to come out here, and I came out here. And there was a few things that I saw that actually, in some cases, were a little bit less expensive in Akihabara. So that that kind of puts things into perspective. But here's like the junk section, and sometimes you can find some pretty good junk stuff here. But there is going to be a lot of affordable options here. Now, mind you, my video and the videos of others, it's not going to capture 100% of what the store has to offer, and sometimes that'll give you like a skewed perspective on things, because when I come out here, I try to show a variety of things, but usually I'm just defaulting to the things that interest me and the things that I feel are gonna be most popular with all of you. But that's it's just kind of an interesting take here. We got that wireless multi-shot. I kind of would like to try that. And the Wario GameCube controller. But kind of going back to the original, my original thoughts here. We have these PlayStation Vitas. And there was instances where, like, even the shop out in the Surugaya shop out in Umeda, which is, like a hustle and bustle, middle of the city type of location, there was some pretty good, decent deals out there. And sometimes it's just a matter of being at the right place at the right time. And some of the pricing here, it's like I said, it's just kind of normalizing. And a lot of it has to do with, Surugaya really pushing like the online thing. And I think when stuff comes in, here we have a Super CD-ROM ROM 2. I actually saw both of these machines, the PC Engine Duo and that Super CD-ROM ROM, in Denden Town. And again, it was far less expensive. In fact, I posted pictures up on my Instagram account. But it's kind of interesting, some of these shops, I guess not in Tokyo proper, but in the surrounding area, it's just kind of it's changing. The gaming landscape is definitely changing, and it's going to be for multiple reasons. Some that I think it's easy to I think the easiest one to pinpoint, it's like, oh, it's the YouTuber, and that's kind of true, because I want to say, like, I watch a lot of YouTubers that are filming out here in Japan, but in many different languages, like from Italian, Russian, Japanese, Tagalog, Spanish, English, Korean, Chinese. And, there's something uploading, I want to say, every few hours, every day. So it's kind of popping in that regard. But like this, like Area 88, look at that, 10,000. And usually you could find that game for about like 6,000. I want to say that's the average. As a matter of fact, where was it? It was off of the Chuo line in Tokyo. Kokobunji, there's like a book off out there that had a few copies of Area 88 for 6,000. But despite that, this store is not trying to like cap on this store because they still do have a few notable things. And it was those things that brought me out here. And a good way to do it, I guess, to kind of prep yourself when you're coming out here is just check online, Surugaya online. Sometimes if you don't know Japanese, sometimes you could just put in like the part number. Because like Sega Saturn games, for example, they'll have a part number on the spine, like T, and then a couple set of numbers. You just put that in the search. You search, it's going to bring that game right up. And like, see like that DMG Z2J. Like the DMG G7J for Godzilla, you just put that in and most likely it's going to pop up. But the interesting thing about this location, because it's not a full-on Surugaya, you can't really see their inventory, nor can you buy the inventory from Surugaya online from this store. The only thing that you're going to see is that, Surugaya might say like, oh, it looks like the Bali Q store has something in stock for whatever given thing that you looked up. There's Knuckles Chaotix. Look at that, 19,900 yen. And there's an opportunity, kind of just going off on another topic here, there's an opportunity for me to pick up a Super 32X, and I'm kind of interested in that. I've never played the 32X, but I'm definitely interested in some of the titles. And Virtua Fighter is definitely, that's one of my favorite fighting game series of all time. And the Super 32X version is definitely up there with regard to price, but I'm so curious to play it. It even has like this anamorphic widescreen mode. But here we go. What do we have? Radiant Silver Gun, like 20,000. And that one looks fairly clean. And I want to say that is a competitive price. As well as Batsugan. And what is this? The Crow, the battle action for Sega Saturn. That's a title that you don't often see all that much. But there's Batsugan, the famous first bullet hell type of shooter. And then there's Power Instinct 2. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting, like, because this isn't a big store. And yeah, it's just a curious thing. When I was here, and I was here for a few hours, because sometimes, when you're making those big purchases, which I did do, you're just sitting there thinking about it, trying to convince yourself otherwise, or trying to see if it's the right time. We've all been there. Nothing special there, but what do we have? Border Down. And I picked up a Neo Geo title. I picked up The Last Blade 2, which we'll see towards the end of the video. And then I picked up a title that we're going to see here up above, a Sega Mega Drive title, Alysia Dragoon. I don't know why I'm kind of trying to save the surprise, but here we have a Golden Axe 3, some Paperboy, and then here's Alysia Dragoon for 35,000. Now that's not the copy that I picked up, but that one looks fairly clean. It just says the operation is confirmed. It's ready to sell. It's ready to go. But I picked up this copy here for 27. And just yesterday, I was in Akihabara, which on Saturday, and I saw it at Trader, and it was at 22,000. Now, granted, the ones at Trader, the sticker was peeling off of the cartridge, and the copy that I picked up just had some rusty staples. After purchasing that copy, I just sat down on a bench just outside the store there, and I removed those rusty staples, and I'm going to replace those, which is something that I've done previously. But apart from that, that thing was complete. The postcard, the manual's intact, the sticker was clean. But, then I started thinking, I'm like, was having the sticker in that kind of condition really worth the extra 5,000? Especially when I was in Akihabara. Overall, I'm happy with, the purchase, but it's sometimes, you think about it because it's like you're investing a lot of time. And just buying the game, there it is again, 27,000. Just buying the game sometimes is not the end of the game's final cost, because if you start, there's the additional cost. Sometimes if you're putting it in a dry cabinet, if you're buying a protective case, and then it just kind of stacks. But I guess it just depends on the kind of collector that you are, and there is no right and wrong with regard to the price and the way that you do it. Sometimes you can emulate. That's cool too. Ain't no thing. Ain't no right or wrong. But just kind of interesting thing that I was thinking about. And there's what do we have back here? We have this Xbox One S vertical stand. I don't know if that thing is compatible with the One X, because if it was, I regret not picking it up. That's something that I do like, these vertical stands. And I have one for my Super Slim, my PS2 Fat, my PS2 Slim, my PS3 Slims. And, let's go back to... it's just kind of rambling here, but just kind of going back to what I was saying, with the big purchase. I spent quite a bit of money here, maybe like over $1,000, and because of that, and this is something that I've been planning for, as a matter of fact, when I was out in Osaka, I was working like crazy, and in March, I only had 3 days off the whole month, and I was working like 10-hour days. Just working like crazy, and the payout was huge. And some of these big purchases were definitely on my mind. But with that said, kind of going with those hidden costs, I had to buy more shelves to store this stuff, and additional scalers, the cables, all that stuff. But I'm also in the process of unloading like stuff that's just taking up space on the shelf. I've used it, or I'm never going to get to it, or I'm never going to repair it, and I'm just going to cut the losses and regain that precious space. And I think I could, with what I'm going to sell, I'm going to easily recoup the money that I spent when I was here. And I actually picked this up, Art of Fighting 3. And it included the coin, and it was actually fairly clean, and it was only the outer case there that was damaged. But with something like that, I don't need it to be in 100% immaculate shape, because I am going to play it. And sometimes, in that condition, it's all good. It doesn't really bug me. But here we have some more Super 32X titles. That might be the next machine that I pick up. I think I mentioned in the previous video that I went back to a Sega CD Model 1 combo. I was originally, for the last year, I was using a Model 2. I'm keeping my Mega Drive Model 2 in the box, but I'm going to be offloading the Mega CD 2 unit along with the spare Model 1 unit. And I think once I, sell off a few things, I'm going to pick up an old 32X. Is it the right decision? I don't know, but I'm mostly curious. If it doesn't work out, we'll just sell. Buy, sell, trade. That's how it's always been for me, really. There's only like a few titles and a few pieces of hardware that have been in my collection for over like 25 years. And there's a few that have been with me like 15 years. This is a title that I want to pick up. I had the North American equivalent, and that did include the manual. I should have picked that up. And then Glaylancer. This is a pretty cool game. I have the digital version on the Nintendo Switch, and I beat it a day before. And if you get the original cart for Glaylancer, that's like about minimum 60,000. But it felt good. As a matter of fact, after returning from Osaka, I've been playing a lot more, beating a lot more of the backlog. Thunder Force 4. That's one that I have not beaten. And I was also playing it the other day on the old Sega Genesis. I have a North American copy as well as a Japanese copy. And that's one that I've just, I'm getting close. I'm getting real close. Game, you have to learn the patterns, and that's just a part of the way these old games are. replaying. There's no save states, rewind. Unless you have the Switch version of Thunder Force 4. I think that one has save states. It does. And it's a great conversion by M2. Rolling Thunder 2. Pretty cool cover, this one. I do have an EverDrive for the Sega Genesis, and I'm going to have to pop in and test out Rolling Thunder 2. But yeah, I'm a physical game collector and player, so if it's good, I'll pick it up. I'll add it to the collection. Y'all know how it goes. But they had a small, as you can see, this is not very large. It's a small Sega Sega Mega Drive, Sega CD, Sega Dreamcast, Sega Saturn. It's a small selection, but there are some heavy hitters here. But, you know, when I'm comparing it with what I saw at the Shinjuku Surugaya, the pricing is very similar. And this message is mainly for those of you that are not living in Japan. If you're living in Japan, heck yeah, come out here. Koga has, it has this Surugaya. It has a book off. It has a hard off house combo. It has a Wonder Rex. It has a few Gales. What else do they have? I think they have a few of those warehouse style thrift stores that are open like 24 hours, super late. So I want to say there's like a good like minimum like 10 stores that you can go to find video games out here. But it definitely helps to have a car or a bike. But the bus system, you know, if you get around by bus, that's also a fairly good option. Here, what did they have here that I kind of wanted? It was an AC adapter for the old Sega Mega Drive. And look at that, 2,000 yen before sales tax. Oh, and I should add, the cool thing about this store is if you make a purchase, for every 1,000 yen or every 2,000 yen or something like that, you get like a stamp. And once you complete the stamp card, you get 1,000 yen off, which I completed 2 with my purchase. And then here we go with the old original Xbox titles. Still working on that. Collection. And as I mentioned, like, you know, the stuff that I'm showing, it's not indicative of the pricing as a whole because I'm not showing everything. And I will show additional things on my Instagram account. So definitely stay tuned. I'm going to make a post probably when I release this video to go hand in hand. But, you know, it's a nice little shop. And here's the premiere showcase. Look at that. The Last Blade 2, Mark of the Wolves. I did see Mark of the Wolves at the Surugaya in Akihabara. Not the one near the station, but the one that's closer, you know, in the back streets out there. And it was 420,000 yen. And 369,000 for Waku Waku 7. That was actually less expensive at Trader, but the copy that they had here was far it was more clean and better condition. But anyhow, you know, just kind of rambling, sharing some thoughts. And I'm going to be going to more shops tomorrow, as a matter of fact. So stay tuned. There's going to be another video. Battle Mania, I want that. El Viento. I don't know if I want El Viento. I don't know. Doesn't really convince me. But anyhow, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you soon. Ciao.